Everybody's talking about how Taekwondo has changed. But today, I'm going to show you exactly how and where it's changed. We're going to break down what fighters used to do in the 2000s and then show you what modern day Taekwondo fighters are doing right now under the new rules and electronic system. So whether you're an old school fighter trying to keep up or a new school fighter trying to figure out what works for you in today's game, this right here is the breakdown that you want to tap into. Let's get to business. All right, so we're going to jump into the old school first. I picked this fight because it's from 2008 Finweight division in Korea. So there's going to be a lot of action, a lot of fast movements, and also a lot of highlights. But it's also because in the blue corner, we got two people that I really respect and look up to. The one that's fighting is Mungyesang 선생님. He's my high school and college senior from Kyung University. And also I was able to train under him for a little bit at Beijing Sports University. And then in the corner that's coaching him, that's going to be Gangnam-won 감독님. He was the Kyung University coach at that time. So let's get into the breakdown. We're in the third round right now. And at this time, the points don't reset after each round. It's whoever has the most points at the end of the 3 rounds. And if it's tied, it goes to sudden death. So we're going to break this down right now. It's 4-4. Over here, we see a little bit more of a wider stance between both fighters. From blue, we have a little bit of fake motioning and a back kick from the fast kick. So let's get back to that. Right here, it's old school, right? So there's not as much cutting. If he's using the front leg, it's either an upper or a fast kick. And our fighter in red, he throws that fast kick. And then our fighter in blue, he counters with that tight back kick right here. Let's watch it one more time. One of his best weapons. Okay, come back to the middle. And right now, since it's not computer, it's going to be manually scored, right? 2 out of 3 judges have to press that point for it to register. We got a triple double. So 1, 2, 3 when he gets to the inside. Trying to get as many kicks up there as possible. Okay, and I want you to look at the step from both of them. They're trying to gauge each other a lot more, and they have a much wider stance because they're loading up that back leg to be able to come off, almost like a sprinter does before they push off. We have a lot more faking in motion, and the ring is a lot bigger at this time as well. We got that classic back leg to back leg clash. Neither of them scores. But I want to show you guys, right? I covered in a video the back leg floater, and what that comes from is this old school style of Taekwondo. So look at the blue fighter's left foot, the foot that's in front. Watch how that foot skips and slides forward while he's moving. It's almost like a lunge. He's throwing that kick. Boom, he takes that step. Bop, throws it at him. Good look, but no score, so it's still 4-4. Little L step from our fighter in red. Some motioning. But our fighter in blue, Mungyesang 선생님, right? He's really good at being calm and patient. And then when he sees the timing, he throws it, he explodes. We got about 35 seconds left in the round. And then right here, he takes the kyunggo. So it's still 4-4. 25 seconds left. We got motion and fakes from both fighters. It looks like they're trying to take it to the last 10 seconds maybe and then throw one kick to pull the round. Also, look at the distance between them both. It's a lot farther. Okay, so neither of them decides to engage. They want to go back to the corner and they want to go to that 4th sudden death round. So as I said earlier, in the old school game, it's not best out of 3 rounds. It's not who wins the first 2 rounds. It's who has the most points at the end. And if it's tied, then it goes to sudden death. And what sudden death is it's the first person to score that gets awarded the W. All right, so that translates to a lot of tension, a lot of high pressure matches that end with that last point being scored. So let's watch. We have this swaying motion back and forth from our fighter in blue. And then just like I said earlier, it's that back leg floater, that back leg jumper that gets him the double. You're gonna watch this one more time. It's a beautiful kick. Watch. Coming in and out, trying to gauge distance. Watch his bottom foot. Big jump, extends, pushes his hips through, and takes that W. And of course, with that old school ceremony. All right? So from this fight, I want you guys to understand that with the old school, right, the stances were a lot longer, right? It's a wider stance because they loading up that back leg. They giving more space in between each other, right? Because it's more like they take their space, they take the rest. There's not as much movement in between, and then they strike. And then after that exchange, again, they bounce for a little bit, rest, and then they strike. Whereas with new school, right, it's a little bit closer range, and they're trying to get a little bit more hits as well as keep up that volume because they're just trying to get their foot onto the chest guard as many times as possible. Before I get into the next fight, if you're an aspiring Taekwondo athlete who's trying to take your game to the next level, whether you're coming from an old school background or a new school background, and you want to add more tricks to your bag, I just dropped a new video on how to master modern day Taekwondo sparring. So if you're interested in taking your game to the next level, click that link and I'm gonna see you over there as well. All right, so the next fight we're gonna break down is going to be from the World Grand Prix. And in blue, we have the double Olympic champ, Rashitov from Uzbekistan. And in red, we have our fighter from Iran. Okay, so this fight, it incorporates a lot of the new school techniques. You'll be able to see a wide variety of them. But we also have some old school movements from Rashitov as well. So I feel like it's an interesting fight to kind of like delve into. If you're an old school fighter trying to apply those old school techniques in the modern day game, see where you have to apply them and at what points you need to be a little bit more new school. And if you're a new school fighter, you can also learn some new techniques aside from just using that front leg. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, so we have Rashitov starting off with that front leg cut kick. He's trying to gain ring control. Comes out with a cancel. Again, with the up bar, scores it. Okay, so it's 2-0 right now. Another cancel, using those front hands as well to push away that kick. And then Rizé scores a nice front hand punch. Let's watch that one more time. Rizé sees that every time he brings his front leg up, Rashitov is canceling him, right? So he uses that front leg to clash and then boom, front hand, scores it. Wouldn't have scored in the old school game because it was only backhand punches. But right now you could score either hand, the front hand or the backhand, depending on how you throw it. Let's watch it one more time. Boom, front leg clash into front hand punch. 2-1. Quick motion from Iran. But Rashitov comes back with those cut kicks. He's trying to close that distance. Switches up to an axe kick to change the level. And then we have a nice front leg up bar from our fighter in Iran. Let's watch this one more time. Okay. Rashitov comes in with that motion. And then 1-2, two touch, nice up to the head. And a nice cut. So it's 4-4 right now. So we're watching this front leg game right now. I'm going to pause it for a second. So a lot of people say like new school Taekwondo is boring, this or that. Okay, whatever. I love old school Taekwondo as well, right? I like that back leg explosiveness, this and that, right? But if you still have passion and love for Taekwondo and you want to excel, you have to be able to adjust to the new rules, adjust to the new times, right? So LeBron, right, he's been playing in the league for whatever, 20 plus years. He's able to adjust his game depending on what the game is demanding of him. So if it's demanding that he work on his three-point shot, boom, you'll see him throw more three-pointers. Whereas back in the days, right, maybe he's going more for dunks and layups, getting into the paint, right? Same thing with Taekwondo, right? Maybe back in the day, it demanded you to have an explosive back leg. But right now, you have to be able to develop that front leg so you could still excel and get those W's when you fight. So it's 4-4. Okay, Rashitov comes off with a long cut and a front hand punch, scores both. 7-4 right now, just a minute left. This is going to be a new school technique. Let's watch this. This is a back hook kick to the body, nice and short and tight. So he kind of hooks it while he's standing up, and it's able to score well because it's hitting that side of the KPMP chest guard where it's really sensitive. Comes back with a cut again. Throws it again. No score this time because the cover was there. Throws it again, and then he's able to score it, and then steps out of the ring, so he's not in danger, all right? Then he finishes the round with a little bit more old school tight back kick, jumping, just like we saw in the old school video earlier, right? He switched up the angle. So he threw a new school spinning back hook kick tight to the body 3 times, right? After that, he's like, let me switch up the angle a little bit. Instead of spinning with it, I'm going to stab it straight. So we're going to watch that sequence one more time, right? So if you come in from the old school, right, and you want to incorporate those techniques, so let's say a back kick in this opportunity, right? You want to be giving them different angles, right? You don't want to just throw the back kick every single time. You can switch it up by either going to the head or spinning to the body or spinning to the head. And then after that, once they kind of adjust their guard, just like this fighter in red did, right? That's when you stab straight down the middle. So let's watch it. 11-4, throws it, cover was there, throws it again, scores it. It's 15-4. So I know the fighter in red from Iran, right? He has that angle in his head. He's trying to block it. And then boom, he scores it straight down the middle. And he closes out the match like that. Because in the modern day game, in a single round, if there's a 12-point gap, then it finishes that round, unless it's the semifinals or finals. So with the new school game, right? I chose this fight because you're able to see it's not just front leg fighting totally, right? Maybe back in 2013, 14, it was getting a little bit more just front leg based. And I know Taekwondo is getting a lot of hate for that. But lately, the rules have been changing to encourage a lot more spins, a lot more dynamic work, a lot more pushing on the inside and action, getting back to that old school spirit. So it may not be what it was back in 2008, back in the 90s, back in the 80s, but we are moving in the right direction. So if you guys have any other questions or any other breakdowns that you would like me to cover, just let me know. But for now, I'm going to go get that work in. Let's go.